As much as I hate to say this, but this little racist piece of shit is right.
Chud is getting out of jail. You know we're gonna watch out for our own. Crypto Casino is making his $1 million bond. Y'all are mad about it. And y'all are gonna boycott and not buy anything from white businesses. Got some bad news for you. Y'all don't own the means of production. Meaning y'all don't own grocery stores, you don't own farms, you don't own gun stores, y'all don't make ammunition. A civil war would not go very well for y'all. God don't like ugly. Y'all were rejoicing when Chud went to jail. Now not only is he getting out and going to beat the case, he's rich. We appreciate y'all making him famous.
Now, it hit like a ton of bricks to hear him talk about this. But he's absolutely right. And I've been saying this shit for the longest. When you don't own nothing, you don't control nothing. You don't control the perceptions in the people's mind, okay? They do. You understand me? Kanye West said the same thing, but we thought he was crazy. But we finna go down the line. I'm finna show you just how easy it is to control people when you don't own nothing. Education. You don't own schools. You don't dictate curriculums like John D. Rockefeller did, right? That's why he donated so much money to the school systems. Remember his favorite quote, I want to create a nation of workers, not thinkers. And it exactly is what's happening. You don't own education, right? They don't teach you shit about credit. They don't teach you shit about money. They don't teach you shit about basic communication. Everything school does is just to bring you at an average basic level to be controlled in this world. That's it. How can your enemy be your educator? Think about that shit for a minute. We don't own schools. We need to get our own schools and turn this shit around and change it, okay? Laws. They don't teach you shit about laws. That's why a lot of y'all go in the courtroom and get your ass handed to you. You don't understand the laws. You don't understand legalese. Even judges don't know all the legalese. Legalese is just basically another form of communication when it comes to the courts of laws. You don't understand these terms, these words. And this is by design, right? I'm trying to teach y'all something, okay? No one knew what a straw man was. When I first found out what a straw man was and educated myself on it, then I started telling y'all about it. A lot of people was hitting me up like, whoa, I never knew that. And a straw man is just basically the business entity of you. You can't do business from business to personal. It has to be from business to business. That's why every letter you get from insurance companies or anything dealing with businesses, your name is in all capitals. So when you go to court, hey, are you such and such and such and such? You say yes. You just gave the court permission to hold you accountable for your business entity of you. Remember, when you were born in America, you were born a corporation. When you die, that's why they call you a corpse. Okay? Judges wear black because they has shit to deal with Saturn, which deals with Satan. Okay? This is why they wear black. And when you go in the courtroom, when you cross that gate in the courtroom, that is considered the bar. You're not qualified to speak for yourself. That's why you are appointed a trustee, because we're operating under their trust. This is so much shit you don't know shit about by design. Remember, you're at a war for your mind, okay? The devil will lie and deceive you and put you in a position where you can't compete because you don't know the rules of the game. Most of y'all don't even know you're playing the game. Another thing, you don't own religion. You don't own no churches. You don't find it funny that you have to go to them to be qualified. Go to theology school. You have to be taught what they tell you to teach. Remember the guy that wanted to get the loan for the church? He went to regular banks and they say, no, we don't give loans to churches. Why? Because the offerings are too up and down. Remember, everything's a business. This is how this whore runs. It runs off business. Okay, well, no, go to this church. This is the church. I mean, it's not. This is the bank you got to go to get the loan. You can't go to that bank. Go to this bank. Oh, what's the difference? When you go to that bank, they say they was gonna give him the $1 million, but he had to preach and teach what they told him to. So you don't own religion. The very thing that we, especially black people, the very thing that we hold near and dear to our heart, we don't control it. We still think a white man gonna go part the clouds and come down here and help us. We still think that. Guess where that came from? It came from your enemy. Remember, you're at a war for your mind. And whatever they do in the name of war to defeat your ass, what can you say? You don't own no religion. It's just bottom line. Entertainment. You don't own sports. You don't own no entertainment. Entertainment means, the word entertain means, enter means to come within a space. Tame means to keep you there. Like a container or retainer or contain. You see what I'm saying? You don't own no sports. When it comes to entertainment, you own none of this shit. These are other ways that they can keep us occupied. This is how they did back in the Roman days. To keep all this political shit off the people's minds, they entertained them. Are you not entertained? You're not entertained? You see what I'm saying? You have to understand, dog, this goes back to Baal, B-A-A-L. Go research that. That's gonna blow your motherfucking mind. Information you don't control. You don't control the news. Remember, the news stand for North, East, West, South. I mean, they gonna blanket the whole world with the bullshit. And most people believe what they see on the news. Now, local news you can't lie about because it happens local. CNN, all the world news, straight bullshit. Remember, these people will never get on the news, give you information that'll benefit you. It's always to benefit them. That's why I say you have to detach from this shit, bro. All of it is bullshit. Don't believe none of that shit. When they blew the levees in Louisiana, guess what they did? They moved the animals out. Why? Because they wanted them people to, they wanted to do exactly what happened in Louisiana. How the fuck they moved the animals out, but then moved the people out? Anyway, any fucking way. Environment, you don't control environment. HOA can come knock on your door, give you a fine, even kick you out the neighborhood of a house you paying for. Your house. So HOA is just another layer of control. Not only that, you can't own the land. Never could own the land. Because there's a thing called allodial title. What is an allodial title? An allodial title says that even the king or God himself couldn't tax you on this land. You own it free out and right. And in Florida, you can't even own an allodial title. And I promise you, if you're a real estate person or you know anybody in real estate, ask them what an allodial title is. 99.999% of them people couldn't tell you because they're not teaching them this shit. This is why you gotta go to their school to be certified by their certifier. Remember, this is a war for your mind, people. They don't have to tell you the truth. This shit's about winning and losing, okay? Think about it. And also, when you buy land, make sure you understand what the mineral, I forgot what it's called, the mineral rights. So under the land, somebody else can own that. So if you buy land, the top part of it, and don't know shit about the mineral rights under the land, if you shooting some bubbling crude, pop up some oil, you don't own it. They ain't gonna tell you that. You know why. Listen, your own children, you don't own. Children are considered anything born in America. Anybody born in America on American soil, you're considered, especially when you sign the birth certificate, you're signing your children over to the corporation. America is just a corporation. United States of America is a corporation like McDonald's and every other company. That's why they got vice presidents, presidents, and secretaries, just like any motherfucking company. Okay, once you sign that birth certificate, you just sign your child over to the corporation. They own your children. You think they come in the house and just take your children because they're in a bad environment? Fuck no. These people don't give a fuck about your kids. They need our kids to help build this motherfucker for the next 30, 40, 50 years. I believe the children are the future. That's why, motherfucker. Because when you 40, 50, 60 years old, oh, we need the young. That's why they always target the young. That's their private stock. You don't get it? When you birth a child, you are a pair that rents. A pair that rents parents. That's what you are. Okay? You are the guardian. You are the guardian. I'm sorry. All you do is take care of the child, food, water, and shelter for the corporation. And when you get out of line of doing that, they gonna come in, take your child, put them in foster care. They got to have this motherfucker. They need this shit to keep going. Same what they did with the video I showed you with the Folio shooting, when the young man he called a life sentence. They were gonna give him a death penalty, but they say no, don't give him death penalty because he's no good dead. We need that young sweat equity. I did the video and showed y'all. We could get another 40, 50 years of slavery out of this young man. He's more valuable alive than dead. That's all I'm trying to tell you. So you don't own your children, okay? Now, food. You don't control your food. Why do you think they created cities? They don't want you in the rural areas. They don't want you growing your own food, having your own pigs and all that shit, catching rainwater, which they've made illegal. You can't even capture rainwater, bro. So what I'm trying to explain to you is this. They want you to move into the city so they control your water. They control where you go to the store and get food. They control your lights. You can't even have a garden or you'll get fined by HOA. Now they will say, oh yeah, you could, but it's up to HOA to say whether you can or not. See, that's how they fuck you. No, they don't want you with gardens. That's why they created cities. Another thing is this is gonna blow your mind, right? Monsanto, right? These the motherfuckers with the GMOs, right? I saw a document where if a field or a person that buys Monsanto's seeds, right? And just so happen that if you're next to this field that has Monsanto seeds, if the pollen blows into your field that don't have Monsanto seeds, that's copyright infringement. Let me show you how dumb that is and how stupid these fuck ass people is, right? Pollen blows naturally. This is how pollen gets to other flowers through bees, through birds, and through the blowing of the wind. So they know this shit gonna blow into the field. And once it blows into that field, you're a copyright infringement, and they're gonna take you to court. Which guy went to court? Man say he went broke trying to fight him. But I tell y'all, this is how you know you're dealing with the devil. See, they tell you pray on your knees, pray to white Jesus and all this other shit. Get what they do? They do everything that God put here for free and organically. They turn and twist it, okay? So instead of them giving you what God put here for us to have, they give you fake food. Chinese people making fake rice selling in America. Fake shrimp, fake cabbage, fake eggs. Now they give you fake chicken, 3D printed meat and all this shit. So I'm trying to explain to y'all, right? It's war. And they've been playing war on you for the longest. Silent weapons for quiet wars. All these things I've listed so far are wars that you have been losing. You've been losing the war of education, the law of religion, the law of land, the law of information, the law of children, food, and what we got next, money. They own your money. We talking about money that they print up as they see fit. This shit is infinite. This is why the Titanic sunk. Them stinking motherfuckers sunk the Titanic. I tell y'all, go get the book Monster on Jekyll Island. You will be blown away from what they are doing and did, okay, when it comes to the monetary system. It's gonna blow your mind. The Titanic sunk on purpose because there was a few people on that boat that they wanted to unalive, right? Because they didn't agree with the way they wanted to do the monetary system. The Rockefeller, the JP Morgans and shit, right? And these other elite groups, right? Because the Federal Reserve ain't federal. That shit private. And God ain't print no motherfucking money. They did. So imagine being able to print as much money as you want. Do you know how much control that is? Moving over to CBDC is gonna get even worse. We're talking about digital money. Oh my God. That's when they can cut your money off. That's where if you do what I'm doing right now, talking against this shit, they can cut my money off, right? This is total control, people. You won't be able to buy shit. You won't be able to sell shit. And this ain't got nothing to do with God. Crazy but true. Another thing is your material things are becoming basically subscriptions, meaning you don't own them. They're no longer tangible things. You used to buy a physical CD with music. Nope. They want to give you a subscription. Some shit that they can take away anytime they want, and it can be programmable. Okay? So even your material things, even with the cars, I said this shit so long ago, people laughed at me. And I told y'all, moving along, renting a house is going to require a subscription. Okay? Trust me when I tell you. Even the cars, the new cars, you have to pay a subscription to use the navigator. You have to pay a subscription and use Apple CarPlay. Everything is subscription based, meaning you never own it. You're going to continue to pay for it for the rest of your life. Which brings me to my last point. They own you too. They own your mind, your body, and your soul. Everything you think of and everything that you know came from them. So your mind, right, is owned by them because everything that's in your mind came from them. Your body. They told you everything you know about your body, right? People don't know what melanin is, right? They don't understand. They sell melanin, right? They sell it. And your soul. Hopefully I didn't offend nobody. But when you don't own nothing, you don't control nothing. And hopefully you can take this video and learn a lot from it. Because my friend, every day you wake up in this society, and it's owned and governed by the same people that's been owning and governing this shit for centuries, bro. So they own your culture. They own what you believe. They own your fears, your wants, your desires. They own it all. It's your boy Papa Duck, man. I love y'all. Put your comments on the bottom of this video. I try not to make it so long, but y'all know how I get. Take a video, man. Use them. I don't care, man. Put them on your platform. But we're here to learn from each other as a community. And until we figure out, or at least understand from an education standpoint, that when you don't own nothing, you don't control nothing. You're gonna always march to the beat of their drums. Even if they gave you $30 million as a lawsuit, every dollar you spend in this new business you're about to go do, you're gonna be paying them. So say if you go get a car lot, you're with your 30-some million. Yeah, you're selling cars, but you're selling cars that you're buying from them. And when you get that high up with that type of money, it's not about the money. It's about you becoming partnership with your own oppressor, because you're gonna make sure you got employees, and all your employees are gonna be working for the corporation to better America, not you. So slavery is cheap labor. That's all it is. Okay? And they've got it to where no matter what you do on American soil, you will always be working to build America. Anyway, man, like I say, put how you feel in the bottom of the comment on this video. Put your comments. And like I tell you all the time, in order for you to be found, you must first be lost. That's the way you can find something. You have to be lost first before you can be found. I'll holler at y'all on the next one, man. Peace.